Welcome to the STEM Seekers Podcast, the podcast that equips you to help kids seek God through science, technology, engineering, and math. I'm your host. I guess we decided on that. I'm your host, David. And over here we've got...
Jeffrey.
Hey.
Jeanette.
Yeah, look at that. We're getting good at this.
We are.
There you go. It's taking some time, but we're getting there. Episode 3. Here we go. First thing we've got our STEM bucket where we provide some additional resources for our STEM leaders. Jeanette, what have we got today?
Well, I have been asked several times, if I don't have a STEM club, what happens if I have more kids than the 20 for the STEM club or the 40 for the STEMcation? What do I do then?
Right, because we provide a certain amount for each club, right? Kind of capping it at each one, but that doesn't mean you have to stick to that number. Right. You can do more than that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, what are our ideas? I don't know. Just stick to the normal. Do it the way that we say.
Okay,
and
so
we're just all about
that's
not innovating. Exactly.
Stay
where it's safe. So we're gonna stay where it's safe with this one, right?
Yeah.
So normally, when someone asks me that, we are pretty, I want to say flexible with helping out because we just want to make it possible. For the church to be able to have the STEM club. So if it's just a matter of like 10 or 15 more kids and they think that they can still make it with that one kit, then they can just purchase the extra big idea books, and so that every child that attends has a big idea book. If you're going to have more than that and you want to set up like a rotation or something, you can purchase a second entire STEM kit, and with that you would get an additional material for another 20 kids. We give you a discounted rate because it is the second kit that you'd be getting. But like I said, we are willing to work, with whatever works best for you or what you need. And as far as the STEMcation, it's basically the same. We just want to make it so that you can have the clubs.
Right.
So you can purchase extra, just the curriculum part of it. We had a church last summer who had a very large STEMcation club, and I think in total
over 100 kids.
It was 100 I think it was 160 kids.
Wow.
And I think in total they ended up purchasing the equivalent of 3 kits, if I remember correctly.
Right.
So there was an extra charge for the extra pieces of equipment, and then there was also an extra charge for the
Booklets.
Not the booklets, but the straws and the plate.
The material.
The material that you're going to use for the experiments or whatever it is that you're doing. So basically, what we do is, if it's a situation like that, it's pretty much as the need arises. So we will figure out,
right.
If it's just the books, we're going to charge you this amount. If it's extra pieces, we'll charge you this, because we just want you to be able to reach as many kids as possible.
Right.
So how could you do that without, so say you have 40 kids and you didn't want to have to purchase another kit, maybe it's
for STEM club, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, so what's a suggestion there that maybe churches could do?
So if it was where you didn't want to get 2 whole kits and have 2 of the bins, we would just suggest purchasing 20 extra books. You're going to get 25 in the original kit, just because we like to send a few extras, because you're going to have new kids pop in, or you may have somebody go home and or lose it. So you always get 25 for 20 kids. So I would just say purchase 20 extra books. The price is, I believe it's like $5.50 a book or something. But it would just be those 20 extra books, and then use the same pieces of equipment. And then every kid gets a book, and you have everything else that you need in that first kit.
Right. So then they would do STEM time for half of it.
Yeah.
A group of 20 kids would do STEM time, and the other 20 would do teaching, and then they would swap.
Yep.
For those 2 times.
Yeah.
Right.
And basically, if that's what they wanted, it's really whatever you have the volunteers to do, and whatever. If you can come up with a more creative way, then everybody comes up with the different ideas.
Yeah.
Each, but that's basically, there's no limitations really. It's just like I've heard you say before, it's your limitation is your creativity, how great or how whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So basically, if you have any other ideas or any questions about that, you should call the office and talk to Jeanette because she's amazing with that stuff, and she's really great at helping with that stuff too. So,
And there may already be another church that's doing it similar to what you would like to run, and we may be able to help with some suggestions from the other church. But otherwise, we need ideas too.
Yeah, absolutely. We've learned a lot from the STEM churches at this point, and the ones that have signed up for the programs. And we're finding that
it's evolving as we're going along.
It genuinely is. Yeah.
In a positive way.
Yeah, absolutely. Going in the right direction. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Last podcast, I recommended the STEM Everyday podcast. Did anybody actually listen to that?
Not last night, sorry.
No.
For shame.
Sorry.
Anyways, you can check it out sometime. It is a lot of fun. But my recommendation for this one is a really fun show. It's called Gadget Man. It's hosted by Richard Ayoade. I believe that's how you say his name. But it is phenomenal. He's a really fun character. He's a comedian that is just a really entertaining guy to watch. But the premise of the show is that he's just looking for gadgets to make his life easier, and so he's always looking out for the new inventions and that kind of thing. And they're all real inventions that he shows, and he probably shows off somewhere around 30 inventions every half-hour episode.
Oh wow!
Or so.
30.
Yeah.
That's like one a minute.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so there's
maybe you should try that too, David. We should put part of our STEM.
You should.
Yeah.
I just need a budget.
Podcast.
If you give me the budget, I will go and find all the new inventions.
If anybody's out there that would like to sponsor our podcast,
that's right,
and sponsor David to be able to do that, he would love to have
there you go. Or if you're an inventor and you want me to test out your new invention, I would love to do that. So please send us your new inventions. We would love to test that out for you. But a lot of them you get to see some really cool inventions that are out there, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous, that you kind of wonder, why in the world would somebody ever make that and think that would make your life better? But he has a really fun time with all of that, and then he ends up doing some inventions of his own as well. Not so much of his own, but he hires out an engineer he says, this is what I want. I want a machine that will get me ready in the morning without me moving a muscle. And so he sets that up all through his house, and you get to see the chaos that ensues from there, and it's a lot of fun. My kids love it as well. So if you've got kids, it's a great show to watch.
Sounds like that dad that invented a roller coaster for his kid in the back garden. Did you ever see that video?
I don't think I did.
He did it.
No.
Yeah, he was able to pedal with the bike.
Oh,
I'll have to send that one to you.
Oh,
yeah,
there you
it's really
go.
Cool. So
new STEM recommendation.
Yeah,
new STEM bucket idea.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll have to get on that. But it's really cool. Yeah, this dad invents this roller coaster where he's able to pedal his child up the hill, and then of course this little hill, and then it comes down and around.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
All right.
cool.
We'll take a look at that. Fantastic. Okay. STEM jokes.
Oh, we've got a couple of good STEM jokes today.
Okay.
And
Jeanette and I have not heard these yet.
Okay, there you go.
So we are expecting great things, Jeff.
Okay, so what are 10 things you can always count on?
I think there's death and taxes, and I forget what the other 8 are.
Yeah, I've heard that one. You're born free, taxed to death. You can,
I don't know. My first response would be my fingers. But
that's exactly it! You can count the 10 things you can count on your fingers. Good job. All right, and my second joke for today. That was so
That's
good.
That
But
was
you're,
good.
you're pretty
Yours
close
is
there
good
too.
too.
Yeah.
I like that one too, but yeah. How do you make 7 an even number?
You got
Take
to add
away
an
the
S.
You remove.
Take
Oh,
the
no,
away
sorry,
the
sorry,
S.
you gotta remove the S.
Ah.
You gotta take away the
Then
S.
it becomes even.
Then it becomes
Instead of 7.
That's it. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Well
so those
done.
are math kind of STEM jokes
Ooh,
today. Yesterday
very-
was more of the physics side of
Part.
STEM.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very.
So we'll see where we go tomorrow.
Well,
Or the next day. Or the day after.
or whenever this
Or whenever
podcast
we keep
airs.
going. Yeah. All right.
Right. All right, great. We're going to do a new segment today. We are going to do questionable inventions.
This ought to be interesting.
This kind of jumps off of the Gadget Man thing, where some inventions we wonder, should they have ever been invented? And this one comes courtesy of William Cubitt, or it's either Cubitt or Cubitt, one or the other, and he invented in 1818 the Penal Treadmill. So this is the original treadmill / stair machine, whatever you want to call that. And it was designed for use in prisons. And first, it was just designed as a way to punish inmates, or whatever they were called, to give them physical labor to do. And so they would just walk on this big wheel, and they would get around 15-20 inmates walking on this thing, and they would just look at a blank wall, and they would walk on this thing for up to 6 hours a day, 15 minutes at a time, 5-minute breaks in there. And I think eventually it was classified as basically an instrument of torture that they used. Eventually they
So where are you
got
going
more
with this, David?
Eventually they got a bit more sophisticated with it, and that it accomplished a purpose, and like they would use it like as a grain elevator, or it would pump water.
See,
or
I was
something
sitting here
like
thinking,
that.
okay, that would work, if it ran the washing machine. They'd be saving energy, but yeah,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh,
So, anyways, where I'm going with this, Jeff,
Okay.
is that
I'm excited.
I have no desire ever to walk on a treadmill. And I think that this just gives me a better excuse and reason why I should never walk on a treadmill, because it was originally designed as an instrument of torture for inmates. And I have no desire to...
You don't want to support
I don't want to support such things.
But the nice thing is, if you can, what's the best way to go for a walk? It's going outside, going for a walk, or
Absolutely.
a park, or a hike through a forest, around a trail, right? And how many of us really enjoy that? If we can get out and do that. So maybe not this time of the year here in Canada, where it's like,
Definitely not in Windsor.
minus 15 and you gotta walk outside. But hey, you give it a try.
Strap on some
Yeah,
skates, go
yeah.
skating, or
Yeah,
go snowshoeing. That's what
But
we
being
do.
outside, and
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
I'm
So-
sure most people prefer to be outside if they could, but sometimes it's just what do you call that? Just so easy to just pull the treadmill down and just jump on and go. And
Convenience.
It's a convenience. Yeah, but
Well, there you go. There's our recommendation. Don't go on treadmills. Instead, go for a walk outside.
that's our recommendation.
I think that's our recommendation for
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Sure.
if you can get outside, it's great. But we all understand there's no judgment here if you can't get outside and go for a nice hike or a walk or go skating on the ice.
There you go.
There's no
Which
judgment.
sounds completely against what this whole podcast is about.
Right.
It's supposed to be promoting STEM
Right,
and
and
the
getting out and
innovation.
discovering God's creation.
Okay,
right?
there we
That's
go.
Right.
Thank you.
That's
There
That's
you go.
right. That's exactly what we're about.
And
we want you to get outside and explore God's creation.
There you
I mean,
go.
really, you could, especially if you were taking your kids with you, going for a walk outside, you could count how many things in 100 steps. Did you see that related to STEM? Hydro poles, electricity, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually observing the things that
Exactly. Not just, with your face in your phone while you're walking, or you're, looking around, seeing what's out there.
If you do see somebody with their face in their phone, then take a video of them, because usually it's pretty funny what happens after that if they walk far enough. Anyways.
So it's nice to get out and explore God's creation. And if you can't, the other suggestion is put on like a nice nature show where you're going for a walk on a treadmill, just as a backup.
There you go.
We just want to. We just don't want those who are treadmill people
enthusiasts
to feel like we're judging them at all.
Oh, I completely judge them. They are perpetuating an instrument of torture that should have.
Wow,
been,
we just lost 3 followers.
This
from
is
this
our last podcast. Thank you so much for joining.
And now for a word from our sponsor, which we don't have a sponsor again today. And so again, our sponsor is Child Evangelism Fellowship Ontario. Again, helping churches and supporting churches with reaching kids in their community with the gospel. And if you haven't, check out STEM Club, check out STEMcation at cefontario.org, and see how you and your church can reach kids with the gospel. Thanks so much. We'll see you all in the next episode.
We hope.